he was running in the department, literally running. And I thought something is wrong with him. and I asked him, what is he doing? We don't know. And then my friend, when he came back, I asked, why you are running in the department? And he told me, hey, Murat, you know, I want to practice. I want to open my legs. I want to stretch.
I need to stretch. I need to,
indoor. It was a funny moment for me.
A problem solver. He's a problem solver. He finds solution.
Exactly. Hi everyone, welcome to Faces from Places. Today I am doing this great interview with this great person, Mehdi Ferdjioui, General Manager of G Healthcare North Africa, living in Algeria, and today he will be together with us. Dear Mehdi, welcome. Could you please tell us about yourself, your company, what are you doing about your job?
Thanks, Murat, for inviting me to this discussion. Actually, I'm an Algerian doctor that have 22 years in the healthcare industry, and now I'm working for General Electric Healthcare. I'm the general manager for Northwest Africa, managing a team of more than 160 people in the three countries.
Let's talk about your career path. How did you decide to be a doctor? When did you decide to move to the industry? What was the elements of impacting your?
You know, it's a good question. You know, I was when I was in high school, I was really interested by mathematics. The last year we had I had to prepare my biology exams, and honestly, it was very, very interesting. I was blown away by all this, you know, the brain and how it was working, etc. And I passed my medical school. I finished doing my medical studies. When I went deeper in this, I would say, biology journey and science, and I realized that I loved that a lot. I really appreciate that a lot. After a few years, we started to practice at the hospital. And I felt also that I was, you know, I had interest with science, but not the same level of interest in practicing medicine.
I see.
It was very strange because around me, everybody was so happy to be a future doctor. So I ended up being a decent doctor, but I felt that something was missing in my journey. And I was a doctor. Between the year I finished and I started to work, I met a lot of people because they are free. And I met a person that was launching a company that were representing pharmaceutical industry, a French pharmacist. And I became his director of sales and medical director. It was kind of startup. And I spent there 10 years.
Wow.
And I was able to feel the gap I was feeling, and everything came to its place. So I was doing science and innovation and learning every day.
You believe that you have a potential beyond your medical education, right? And when you moved to the industry, I think you started to fulfill your potential.
I found a balance. Like Japanese say, I found my ikigai in the working space. Around me, everybody was saying, you have a highway to have a clinic, to be a doctor, put your name on the wall and do this, or be an ophthalmologist or something. And I was saying, I don't feel that this is what I want.
What are the main difficulties, but also fun facts about your job?
You know, first, I think a company is a group of people. And also it's something that I say many times, in healthcare, we care. So I think first, there is kind of caring of each other, and there is a lot of camaraderie and friendship in the organization. And also culturally, in our region, it's fine to have to laugh and have fun. You cannot blame someone for a nice joke or discussing with a coffee machine around that. It's to relieve the pressure. In the office, I installed a gym. Mm-hmm. There is a gym where people can do, you know, gym or yoga or what they want. We have even a little, you know, what they call little, you know, table football, baby foot, we call that in French. So people can still be themselves at business.
Knowing that hard work is the big part of your business, is there a moment in your life that you can give us an example? Okay, this was the moment, Murat, that I never forget.
My career in 22 years is concentrated of so many events and situations. There is situation when I was in my previous life in AstraZeneca, I had to create a group of 150 people acceleration plan and bring back this big company to the summit. And the day we signed the partnership to build a factory, it was an aha moment, because this company that was extremely far from the country, and we ended up signing project of a factory after 1 year of preparation and analysis with 2 ministers. It was a very important moment. I had this also too with GE. When I joined, I had to recreate kind of strong relationship with Algerian government, and we signed a memorandum of understanding between Algerian government and GE, and Jeff Immelt, the CEO and chairman of GE that time, came himself.
In your 22 years of career, you have faced a lot of difficulties, a lot of challenges. You are leading a team of 160 very brilliant people in Algeria, and Algeria is one of the biggest country in the world. I guess it is the 10th biggest country and the biggest one in Africa.
In Africa.
Do you have a routine that you follow throughout the day?
Yeah, definitely. It's clear that I have my second shot of coffee. I will say once I arrive at the office and have my espresso and review my to-do list, because there's a lot of people, if you don't talk to them early in the morning, the day is lost, you know. So I try to favor what is external the morning and what is internal the afternoon. Even if I read my mails, of course, just to have an overview, but I focus on external because you can go outside to see administration, to fix some documentation issue, to find a director of hospital, all these people. That external is morning. And the afternoon, I try to focus on fixing internal things and having internal discussions. This is my preference.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And since a few months now, I learned more about Qigong. Qigong is the Chinese, movements, etc.
Mm-hmm.
And with YouTube, you can learn anything today. And so now I practice Qigong, and there is some movement that are really useful for people that works a lot with their head and brain, etc. And also I have breaks. I take breaks. I go for a walk. The afternoon, the brain needs specific sugars. They need like cashews and almonds and all these kind of special omega-3 resources.
So, Mehdi, I would like to a little bit shift to the innovation and startups related topics. How do you see your industry, healthcare industry in this case, will be disrupted?
Healthcare, everybody says healthcare is the last big space that need to be disrupted. And it's a movement that started. It will be a real revolution. And I think one of the main and strongest trend, and I think this year, fortunately or unfortunately, have accelerated that. The smartphones today have your sleep data, your walking data. If you have an iWatch or another tool, you can start to have your heartbeats, and it will, in the future, that will aggregate your biology. Probably in few years, there will be more wearables, potentially skinnables, potentially eatable sensors. We will be the last thing to be sensorized. Perhaps our t-shirts and our gym fits suites will have sensors. So as our cars and planes, we will be a source of data, biology data, genomics data that are your kind of past and legacy. You start to have a tool that is extremely powerful to help you define what is your personal medicine, the famous precision health.
Precision health, yeah.
And never in history we have been that close to arrive to a world of precision health. And precision health first will help the people have more targeted solutions to treat their disease, or to stay, like we say in the world of well care, so they stay in good shape before they go to morbidity and disease. And also that will help the payers and policymakers and insurance companies to better manage their costs. I believe also that the genetic testing will be cheaper and cheaper, but how we aggregate the data, how we protect this data, how people can own, and this is what is special, will own this set of data to build their own strategy, because they will have the connection between how they eat, how they sleep, etc., and their genomics, so they can decide their strategy. And the recommendation will be due to your profile of glycemia or sleep, you better walk 5 kilometers a day, or perhaps 10, or eat more veggies and less of this specific meat, but you can eat this one because genetically it's fine for you. For my source of data as a manager and a curious person, I leverage a lot Twitter, where I have a list of doctors that are high-tech and really advanced, from Eric Topol, Daniel Kraft of Singularity University.
Moving from the startups to the cultural topics, more about Algeria and Algerian culture as someone living in Algeria. So from your perspective, how you see the strong part of your culture, and maybe some parts also what you don't like that much, let's say?
Yeah, Algerians are, I would say, quite passionate, emotional people, and can be also quite direct. So we have a history of being sailors, you know.
Yes.
Sailing and commerce and trading and exchanging. Romans came and Byzantine came and Ottomans came and French came. So, and also there have been movement in two ways. So there is kind of form of openness to the world. The Algerian is curious, the Algerian likes to travel, they're interested, they like to compete. They can be extremely kind of friendly. Our culture, sometimes, there's still some people that are more conservative than others, or can be intrusive, can want to apply the rules on the others. But it's slowly changing.
How you develop yourself? How you follow the recent changes?
You know, from a business perspective, I learned about an American guy, that Robert Kiyosaki, that wrote Rich Dad, Poor Dad. It's a very known book, but it was interesting read because it brings back to the importance of financial culture, not business culture, financial culture, and give you a way, and so how you can rate yourself and take 2 or 3 simple measures to change the way you look to spending and investment and this kind of simple points. Actually, there's an application of summary of books called Cooper.
I didn't.
That helped me to.
I didn't know.
Yeah, Cooper. Yeah, K-O-O-B-E-R. Cooper. You have summary of books of 15 minutes, 20 minutes, and so I'm using this app. I read books in my car, so sometimes I can have 3-4 summaries per day of biography of people or some trends, and that the books that you cannot physically handle take time, and it's really useful when you have a walk and you go to shop, and this is extremely useful because this is what's happening. You see everything happening from Asia to US, in Europe, etc., sometimes even in Africa. So the time to digest that and synthesize, and it's really amazing times.
Actually, I totally agree, because this is the time that there are billions of data flowing from everywhere, and it's not static like it used to be 50 years ago. So you could read a book and you could keep this information for next 50 years, but it's not. Once you read it, even once it is written, actually some part of it is changing. We need to follow some thought leaders who actually connects the dots for you and filters for you, and then you can be efficient on following the trends, following the updates. That's very critical. Nobody has that time. Big data is good, but the quality data is better, in my opinion. So do you follow any or do you have a favorite book writer?
You know, I like the French Lebanese writer Amin Maalouf. I like his books because there's always this kind of traveling, the African Leon or Alamut, and there is all these fantastic books that are very important, that are connected somehow to our history. And I took some books of Rumi, and I need to find time to go deeper on them. They are in my shelf.
So I would like to show you something. So 3 books, Amin Maalouf, Samarkand.
Samarkand.
Disordered World. So this is Crusades from the Arab Eyes.
Yeah, voilà.
So it was great speaking to you.
Maa Salama, Murat.
Maa Salama, Mehdi.
Maa Salama.
Great pleasure. Thank you, and wish you and your family a healthy and happy life. Talk to you soon again. Thanks, Mehdi.